Seeing the connects, copying the URL, got everyone in there. Powered by the U. Okay, content is being recorded. We have it, and we're ready to go. Those that are going to be our late dragger on will, hopefully they'll join us. Okay, welcome everyone. We have a full packed session today. What I want to cover are a couple of housekeeping chores. You have your assignment of your automated trading systems. Part of it is due today. The other part is on the trading strategy is due this Monday. A week from today is our in-class exam. What I want to do is give you a review sheet today, so you can take that with you from now till we meet on Monday and go over it. I'm going to show you the two parts of that test. And also on Monday, I'll do a more extensive review with you, answer any of your questions, your specific questions. Also, I want to go over security today. That's one of our chapters that we're covering in security, and I think it is so important for us to understand security. Basically, the issues with security, for instance, that I suffer with in the way that they put up, in my opinion, too much security that I can't do my job, versus on the other end, I don't understand what are the vulnerabilities to the institution I'm working with. So what I've done today is at 5:30, we are going to have a guest speaker who is the director of cybersecurity and security for the university. So he's going to join us. So in this case, Sophia and Jordan, if you can let me know when he joins us, in case I don't notice it, to let us know when he comes in to have his say, and let us know in general. And then he was in my last class, and he went through basically the history and all, but I'd like him to spend in our class more time giving us tips and tricks of what is in the trade. He really is dealing in the trenches, and I'd like him, rather than giving us from kind of the textbook history point, don't you think it'd be better, Anders, is give us, he's dealing with security on a day-to-day basis, tell us how we can be more secure and what we should watch out for. So that's what I want from him. So I'm going to start off the conversation kind of leading him down that road of doing less PowerPoints and giving us more on the access of what are the challenges for the university, but what are the challenges for us, and also how can we overcome it? Because just to be scared and say, give us all those warnings, it isn't effective. Just to tell us just don't get on the internet and don't use your phone isn't going to do it. So anything else I need, if you need any questions, personal issues or others, stay with me after class. Okay? So I'm ready to begin. Everything okay? So I'm going to start sharing the screen, and my two moderators, please let me know if there are any questions in the chat that I need to think about. Okay, so let me close this for a while. Close this. I'll close this. Don't save. And minimize this. I'll go to everybody looks, some people aren't right there at the moment, but hopefully you see how it's a bit lagged. Okay, so let's go to our class right here. So basically on the what's due section, let's start with that. On the what's due section, for today is the assignment automated trading backtesting due. On Monday is the other assignment due for backtesting the index and optimization. What I'd like to make sure that everyone understand, you can go to the lab anytime, as long as there's not a class, you can just pass by. If there's not, most of the time the lab is open for you. You can just work in the lab. If you don't want to work on that VDI extension, you can work in the lab. And make sure that you look at the samples from group 0 to make sure that your assignments look like the regular ones. So you can see here, what I want you to do is read these short articles in order for you to answer the open-ended questions for the test. And if I look at everybody look at PowerPoint and documents. And in the PowerPoint and document, you'll see right above it says review exam 1. Does everybody see that? And if you see that, it says exam Wednesday, October 9th. This should be changed, right? Do you see that? Let me make sure. This should say 2024. Right? In the School of Business exam will be in person and proctored at class time. Arrive 10 minutes early. Bring a pictured ID or government ID. Have respondent software installed. It will be multiple choice, around 60 questions, and short answers, 2 questions. The advantage for us in our section is we'll have more time. There's not a class coming after us. So I want everybody to be available at 5:05, but we will have a little bit of leeway. Let me just go over this with you. The exam will cover chapters 1 of the textbook, chapters 1, 4, 5, TG1, which was the hardware, TG2, which was the software. This is from the book. This basically goes along with the chapters and the Wiley Plus algorithms and automated trading systems. It'll be Wednesday. This needs to be changed here too. It'll be Wednesday, October 9th. You know, it'll be on that time. Make sure that you bring your laptop. So you must bring your laptop in order for backup purposes, because some of the computers may not work appropriately. So you know that you have your backup, and it's important that you install the latest version of Respondus, the software. Here's an example of what a student had done in the past using a Quizlet. But these are the topics that can help you. First of all, the PowerPoint on automated trading systems under the PowerPoint section. A hardware from chapter 1, hardware characteristics. And in terms of these, many times part of these are definitions. Other times there are giving an example and you'll have to use it. But basically, hardware that they're faster, they're cheaper, they're more miniaturized. You need to know the CPU characteristics. What's a CPU? Central processing unit. The GPU of the graphical processing unit, inputs and outputs, primary storage and secondary storage. We talked about that before, a primary and secondary. The ALU, the arithmetic logic unit, the control unit, RAM, random access memory versus read-only memory. The difference is what is volatile, what is non-volatile, what are registers, differences between a client versus a server. For instance, my computer is a client to Zoom is the server. Differences on software, operating systems versus application, software licensing, privacy, open source, being it's the code that is open, that everyone can see, people can edit in that open source. Know the difference between data versus information versus knowledge. Also examples of what is considered to be data, what is considered to be information, what is considered to be knowledge. The IT infrastructure, we're talking about the components, we're talking about the people that work for IT. In this case, those people that work for IT, you can think about it, are like people that are coming from IT security, the services. The trend here is in IT and information systems is to be in more real time rather than in batch, to make decisions quicker. Of course, we're going to be talking about security, and today we'll have the security advisor here, and we can even ask him to talk about some of these are the exposures and threats, what we consider to be social engineering, basically looking at the differences when you have someone speaking and trying almost to be an imposter, trying to get others to reveal secure information, the idea of what's a SSL, secure socket layer, denial of service, basically turning down servers, distributed denial of services, botnets. We can ask the security director about that. Backdoor attacks, logic attacks, phishing attacks, ransomware, where we're using Bitcoin to pay, risk analysis, management, mitigation. So what are we having in risk analysis is that we know that we're a possibility we're vulnerable. If we're a university, we know that we're going to be vulnerable to attack. So what do we need to do is analyze the risk, how valuable, what is our data, how much, and what are the ways in which we can mitigate. What does mitigate mean? Mitigate means to reduce. So in this case, biometrics that I can use for security, I can talk about data, the way that we're talking about data governance for control. We also need data governance for AI data as well, as who basically owns the data, who is going to update the data, goals of the data, controls. I have to control the data too. So I can do physical controls. For instance, I can do door locks, I can do security guards, I can do communication controls, who accesses my systems, the administrative goals. We talked about data hierarchy, keys. You need to know examples of what's a primary key versus a secondary keys with examples. Primary keys for student data is like the student number, the CN, big data characteristics. We talked about that in our data, difference between a data warehouse and a data mart. What is going to be, what's volatile, what is security, the differences between hypertext transfer protocol versus the secured one, the transaction. When we talk about transaction systems, this is basically covering those topics from those chapters. Okay, so I have those topics from those chapters coming in, and these articles I want you to read for the open-ended questions material. So the open-ended are the automated trading systems. What are the pros and cons? These are the articles. What's the difference between indicators and strategies? The idea of moving averages and basic algorithmic trading. Here are the articles, back testing and optimization. So actual open-ended questions, two of these, and in this case, this was Daniel that put in, these will be on the exam verbatim. Let me just do a caveat to that. And that is, you will add along with this, and it could be a combination of these questions with showing examples from our lab work. So for instance, what is algorithmic trading? What are automated trading systems? What are the advantages and disadvantages? You need to discuss that. I don't need to have 10 pages, but you have to show it and then talk about your experiences with that. What is a virtual desktop? What are the virtual desktop? What are the benefits and disadvantages? And when did we use a virtual desktop interface, right? We used the virtual desktop interface to get to NinjaTrader. Why? What were the problems with that? How could you have resolved that? What were the disadvantages? So when he says 2 of these will be on the exam verbatim, it's along with adding examples from our exercises. What are the characteristics of backtesting and optimization automated trading system? Is show examples. Give examples of the trading rules and strategies we used in class for backtesting and optimization. So also with that is give an example. What is a trading rule? What is a strategy? What is the difference between a strategy and an indicator? So all of these open-ended questions go along with you showing that not only do you know the definitions of it, but that you can show examples by our exercises that we did. So let me stop sharing and answer any of your questions. So Gabrielle, what question do you have? You have a question, Gabrielle?
No, I don't have a question.
What it will be done is our test will then be about 60 questions, multiple choice, and then they'll be open-ended. You can choose what you want to do first. So if you want to do the open-ended questions, you can do that first. Once you finish and submit, you cannot go back to it. Then after you submit, then you can do the multiple choice questions. And once you finish, you cannot go back. So you can decide what you want to do first. People decide how they want. Some people have worked so hard on the open-ended that they want to just concentrate on that first. Other people say, let me get out of the multiple choice first. If you have any special circumstances, I do my exams in person, and if you have any extenuating circumstances, you can send me an email about it. Any questions? So if I think about security, one of the things that I need to emphasize in security are controls, because what do I have? I have possibly threats, I have vulnerabilities, and I have exposure. So the idea that we got to figure out in this case is what's the difference between, Amelie, a threat and an exposure?
A threat would be like something, a security breach, I guess.
Right, from someone
exposure
from the
just means-
outside, right, what's giving you
Right.
the threat. And so what's an exposure?
Exposure just means you don't have the security that you should. So something is exposed where you could be exposed to
Right,
it.
and then my vulnerability, that's my weakness. So basically, you can think about it in terms of just your car, right, of locking your car, right? I'm going to have a threat of possibly of my car being stolen versus that you want to think about what are the controls. And then there's also the idea of a trade-off. And what do I mean by a trade-off is I have to weigh how much, what my data is worth. If I think about that, I have to figure out how valuable my data is to how much I'm going to secure it. So think about it. If I can spend $100,000 on security of an apartment that only costs $80,000, right? Or it's different than 100,000 if it's $10 million property. And the same thing with the university. It may be what is the value of my PowerPoints being loaded on Blackboard versus your health information and the hospital and the university's hospital where you're going to be having surgery done. And then we have your schedule and we know we know what arm are we going to be surging on, right? And all of a sudden that I get locked by ransomware, right? So what is ransomware? They basically lock my computer up and then you don't have access to it. And they say, guess what? Just like ransom, what do they say? Hey, give me in Bitcoin this amount of money and then I'll free your system. And does it happen? It happens all the time. And even though when, they always say ransom, don't pay the kidnappers, people need to get to work. And I need to, if I can be out of business. This could be life and death, right? All of a sudden your grandmother needs surgery and they're playing around. I'm sorry, she'll have to come back in a couple of weeks. The FBI is on the case. And where are these nefarious people? They're not next door usually. They're where in some stand somewhere in the world, right? That I'm not aware of. So those are areas in which you do, and you have to think about it, what controls I can have. I can have those physical controls, but do we have any controls here at the university? What can you think about what controls we have here?
Mobile.
Right, basically that we're thinking about those controls is that do all the time. The question is and think about if we wanted even to rehearse our idea of the automated trading center, that virtual desktop infrastructure, what do we have to do? We had to put in our username and our password, you remember? And then what do we have to do, Amelie? We had to put in what? Our Duo. And then after the Duo, we got in there, and what did they have to do? They had to put in another software, the Citrix software on top of that. And what else did they have to do? And at that time, the second time we went in, and then we had to run NinjaTrader, they had to do the installation. And what happened is they didn't have what we call persistence. What does persistent mean? That it would stay in place the next time we would log in. When we go to the computer in the lab, right? We go into NinjaTrader and we click on it. It doesn't say it's installing each time. It persists. It stays there. And sometimes even what you have, if you have your own account, it should then keep what your past Excel spreadsheets, right? It should keep past what? Your strategy performances. It should keep all, you remember when you did every time from minute to day data? What happened from that minute to day data? Every time we have to go minute day, it should persist. The last time if it should be smart enough to know, right, that I use day data, end of day data, I'm fine with it. So at that point, that's it. Questions about the exam? Mauricio, are you here?
Yeah.
Mauricio, I wanted to introduce you to my second class.
Okay.
And what I'd like you to do for this class, since we already did the overview in the first class, is
Okay.
maybe shorten, take out the history part
Good. Okay.
and shorten that. And what I'd like is more to spend time in a discussion with you, just like we did at the end, which I think was so valuable, of the tips and tricks of what I can do. Because we're all naive on it. We all take our phone, we take our phone to bed, we take our phone everywhere. And I think, shorten that part and then I think it'll be more valuable for us to get your insights, because all those things on the history, we can go and we can use ChatGPT to get that, but we need to get a digital twin of you, Mauricio, right? That we can ask Mauricio anytime we want, help me with my ransomware.
Security. Yes. Very good.
Security of Mauricio. We'll help you with that. Maybe we can do that one time. That'd be great. You know what I mean? Of having the digital twin, you know what I mean? The digital twin of Mauricio, and basically, and you training it with all your knowledge, because nobody has that. Okay,
It's a years of experience. So
I
thank you so
know.
much.
Nobody can say
Again, so good afternoon to everyone. My name is Mauricio Angie. I am the currently the Chief Information Security Officer here at the University of Miami, and that's the enterprise, meaning UHealth, Miller School of Medicine, the Academy, athletics, so everything under the sun, UM. I'm the person in charge for security. So all those challenges that you've been having with coming back to class and duo and all this, that's what my team and we do. So been the CISO for Mount Sinai Medical Center here locally in Miami, working banking for a while in a local bank in Miami as well, called Mercantile Bank, renamed or rebranded to Amaranth Bank. I was the first CISO at Universal Studios Florida, and I'm happy of my career. I was the first person who ever secured a ride that you probably either have gone and experienced or will go, which is Harry Potter. And so I was the first person that ever secured a theme park that was gonna be connected to the administrative network. So, and then worked for the government and a government contract for the Kennedy Space Center and the return to flight, NASA, that thing that you see there. Very proud of the return to flight. If you remember, we had the last accident in 2002. So the President Bush stopped and said, "We're gonna hire people that come and look at this problem differently." That's what we did. So that's about me. So since I shortened this version, all I'm gonna start is here. Just think about this. Every day of our lives, we're dealing with emerging technologies. We started in the 2010s with all these what we call smart devices today. That's when we started with Nest. Today is Google. Google here in 2012 started experimenting with self-driving cars. Now you see them everywhere. I think in San Fran now taxis are now self-driving, and that's gonna span to the world. If I can tell you that much, that's what the company wants to do. And then in 2018, I saw the first sense experience this car delivering pizza to us, and I was visiting family in Indianapolis, Indiana. So why do I bring that? Because all these technologies that you are digital natives, to you is, oh yeah, I don't know that. I grew up seeing that and I know what that is. brings privacy and security challenges to our lives. Right? So that was the only slide. The other slide I want to show you is this, and ask yourself this question, because sometimes we use the technology, we use our phones, our iPads, and other devices that we have, and we need to ask ourselves this question. What does your device know about you? Probably a little bit too much. Probably knows more than mom and dad and your best friend. But LinkedIn, I saw this a few years ago and I kept it because it is powerful. Your cell phones, your devices, whatever device you use, sometimes if you're like me, now I'm carrying out 2 devices with me all the time, right? So all those devices know something about you or us. We store data, we store pictures, we store passwords, we store stories, text messages, voice calls. If you think when you delete a file or you delete an app or you delete a text message, all that information stays as digital footprint on your devices. So don't ever think for a minute that by resetting your or deleting the app is going to delete the data. That data is already on your phone. So you can do the experiment one day, deleting one of your apps to say, you're deleting the app, but the data was still on the phone. And sometimes we say yes, sometimes we say no, but again, that data has a digital footprint on your devices. So that's how much these devices know about us. This is very what I did is very impactful. A compromise is when bad actors extract data and steal it, and we call it a security breach. That means they access inappropriately or hacked, in other terms. This is the amount of records that in 2023 in the United States only were compromised or breached, right? So there is a large amount of data that gets extracted every time there's a security breach. Who gets breached? These days, almost every company. Like if you go to Panera Bread, they were breaching back in 2018. We don't care anymore. We desanitize ourselves, but it's happening more often than you think. Facebook, Yahoo, Under Armour, Netflix. But why is this important? And the next slide are important to you and to our lives. So this one is very powerful and important. I'm going to tell you why. Last year in October, September timeframe, Comcast, 36 million customer records, which included username and passwords of every single Comcast customer. This year, during the summer, was AT&T, 78 million records. And now we start seeing more phone calls, more emails, more text messages from bad actors trying for you to, social engineer, for you fall into the trap. Recently, the National Public Data, which is 2.5 billion personal records or information from United States and Canadian citizens. This one is really bad. And by the way, we're gonna start seeing the aftermath on coming on this. And a few years ago, when Twitter was changing its name to Thread, there were 235 million accounts breached. So why is this important? And I'm gonna tie it up at the end. Because our digital presence, our social presence in the digital world, we usually do something that is not best practice or not the norm, but we use the same usernames and passwords or the same passwords in every single one of these websites that we visit or we have an account in. So this is why you probably see it said, how is that going to affect me? I don't care anymore. You see it in the newspapers. We even send notification out. But what you need to care about is your data is not only leaked, but your passwords are already in open. Bad actors have those passwords. So start thinking. If some of you, maybe you or somebody their Instagram account has been compromised and take over. That's another way of saying account takeovers because your identity was already taken by the bad actors. And if you know this, it takes a while to get your account back, or you may never get it back. And so who's behind this? And this is impactful. It presented just for knowledge, but now you start seeing when you see the news or when you want to say, hey, what does this mean? The Russian business network, number one fraud. This is banking and financial fraud in the world. These are the top notch. They make so much money committing fraud that they're the number one. Chinese cyber militia, they are really after intellectual property, um, government secrets, and a lot of the technologies that are developed around the world. So they infiltrate networks and extract that information. Anonymous, which is, always this mask, is equal to anonymous. They just do what we call hacktivists. And their job is like an activist, like hacktivists, exploit people, secrets, corporations. The Syrian and Iranian electronic army are the top number one. You can search this up. Members of these groups are attacking the critical sectors, not just in the United States, but around the world. In critical sectors, you think about power plants. So be very mindful when you hear something about Syrian cyber hacking, because that's what they're after. These shadow brokers is really a hardcore 1990s. They've been around forever. They develop software that they sell and lease for people to hack. So they're the mastermind behind it. By the way, yes, people in these days can lease bad actors software they don't have to know anything about computers. They just lease it. Lazarus Group, North Korea's armed forces in cyber, but they are behind one of the biggest, most recent cases, which is behind the Sony PlayStation hack. So that was North Korea. And the last one is a test. Does anybody know what this tailored access operations is? You probably don't. I just want to wait here and look at my chat. No chat. Is the United States National Security Agency. We do have also an arm that, although it's not hacking for money or hacking for secrets, is really out there collecting data. In fact, a lot of conversations happen in NATO about all these cyber armies that are created. Specifically, my son is in the armed forces, but he is trained with the Space Force. He's now a guardian under the Space Force. So a lot of tactical operations they learn. And these ones are the new groups. If you don't follow the news, but if you're following, last year, MGM Studios got ransom, and they have to pay about $100 million.
So
The
what
group
is
behind it.
ransom,
Ransom.
Mauricio?
Ransom. What is ransom? Too fast. I deleted that. Okay.
Okay.
Ransom. Ransomware is a piece of software that scrambles the data on our computers. And if you think about the University of Miami or the health system, if our systems cannot operate because all the data is scrambled and encrypted with a key, and only the key that the bad actors have to decrypt the data can work. So it's a way of scrambling the data or encrypting the data and making it unusable. So think about when you go to your dorms. One day you find a lock and you get a note that says, if you want to get in your dorms and you want to get the lock code, call me and pay me X amount of money. That is the equivalent of what the bad actors doing. They're being very successful doing this. So ransomware
Well,
is
how do they get in?
how do they get in? So good. Bad actors have different methods of getting in, but one very common is when we as users go to websites and click on websites that are maybe infected. One, two, via email, because we're humans, they use social engineering tactics of clicking on this link or clicking on this, opening this attachment, or simply we go and download open source software that is available, that you don't have to pay for. That is usually a sign that that software may be compromised. So there are the factors that is. Another one is when we don't apply the updates on our computers, like your Apple updates. You need to be on top of that and apply the updates, because that's also keeping us safer against these bad actors. So these groups continuously are looking for ways into bypassing the security or getting to you, the human, and do social engineering.
So once I'm a member at the university, right? So once I click on something and I download and I'm corrupted, then so how do they basically tear down basically the usage for the entire university? Like for
They
instance,
use a tactic
why
that
are, for instance, why are medical centers, hospitals so vulnerable to ransomware? You hear about they're the first ones to be requested for some ransom.
good. That is recent. Before it was higher ed, and higher
Right.
ed turned out to be so recent cases. Michigan's university last year, when the students were coming in, they got
Okay.
ransomed. So how? One
Right.
computer is the entry point, and bad actors develop tactics to do what we call lateral move. So they start moving and infecting computers on networks without being detected so fast that's why the antivirus is important, monitoring is important. Healthcare, because for years, Sarah, healthcare has neglected to invest in technology and security. Now we're paying that price.
Mhm.
Now, banking is always leading. Banking security is ahead about 10 years, but
Oh,
healthcare, it's one of those that needs a lot of attention. So
okay.
that's one of the reasons. So another one for devices. If you think about your devices, you're talking too much, and I don't care because I don't use a computer. I
Right.
use my iPad or my iPhone. Well, iPhones are susceptible to spyware on your either because you downloaded an infected app that you thought it was good. So always here's the two things that this software here was designed to in sold to governments, but in reality, if we keep a good hygiene of our devices, it's very hard for these things to happen. One of them is turn off your cell phone and your iPad once a week, because the way this software works is there in memory, but if you turn off and turn back on your cell phone, it deletes those softwares that you didn't install. So when you travel, I know we all travel, and you go and you connect it to every Wi-Fi you could probably connect. It is always a good idea, and it's just my experience. I'm not telling you everybody has to do it, and you probably say that guy is crazy. But what some people started doing is starting the phone from if it was brand new, so reinstalling everything. So do a backup, and then wipe out your device and install your apps. It's a pain, but I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna save you a lot of headaches
And
in
that's
general.
before you go on your trip or after you go
After.
on?
After. When you come back, you're already infected with a lot of things. It's a good idea to wipe out your phone and install and reinstall the applications. It's always good. Now,
Because
if
you're saying that because I've been on Wi-Fi networks that have not been secured?
yes, and also in countries, Sarah, is important. I don't want to mix this, but
Yeah.
there are some countries that we don't know because we're not law people and we don't know all the laws
Right.
of this planet. But there are countries that your cell phone and any electronic device, as soon as you land in that airport, or if you are traveling and you get there,
Right.
those devices may get confiscated, or they may ask you for the password. So just be aware when you're traveling.
Right.
France is
So
one of
at
those
least have
countries,
a
by the way.
backup somewhere else.
But
So it could be
yes,
confiscated. Who
I,
knows where you are,
I
right?
usually have a phone to travel, and I travel with that phone. I don't have anything on that phone, only
Oh,
to
that's
take
interesting.
pictures.
So you just buy a phone just for travel,
I
or
do
you
have a phone that like it's an iPhone 12, I believe that I have, and
right.
that's the travel phone. And so I don't use the work phone or my personal phone when I
Especially your work
travel.
phone. Yeah, right. Or
Yes,
your
yes.
personal. Yeah.
So here are some tips that you asked me about.
Yeah.
There's something called two-factor authentication, and we all need to start learning these terms. Two-factor, it stands for this. In the world of computers and securing computers, passwords or protection is that has three pillars: something you have, something you know, something you have, and something you are. Something you know is your username and passwords. something you have is like a token or a something like Duo. I carry this token, but I also have Duo on my phone. And something you are is usually biometrics. Your retina, your fingers, your voice, different things. So two-factor authentication is becoming the norm because bad actors have found a way to steal our passwords, which, by the way, passwords we use everywhere because there's so many applications we tend to use the same password. So it is a good practice to start using two-factor authentication for those applications that offer it. Instagram offers it, your banking apps offer it. We at the University of Miami have Duo. So it is maintaining a safe environment between the bad actors and your personal life. So remember that. Do not use the same username and password, please. This is killing us. There's so many websites, there's so many social media networks, there's so many things we use in a day to day. And as humans, we can only remember so many passwords. So we started reusing the passwords, not only in our personal lives, but now we're bringing that into the school life or your work life. So we're asking best practice, don't use the same password, please. It is very dangerous because your password gets compromised in the case of AT&T or in the case of Comcast, and now they come here. And others that you probably don't know, but you had access or passwords with another company got compromised.
Right.
Then do not connect to public networks. And you know this because every time you go to a public Wi-Fi, it says
Right.
this is unsecured network. And we gladly say, sure, go ahead and do it.
And
That
what
is
is
dangerous.
unsecure? What is it really when it says
Very good.
unsecured versus secure? What are you adding when I'm going on to the university network versus when I'm going to Starbucks? What does that mean, unsecured? I'm still getting
Very
onto
good.
a network. I'm
Nice.
still able to get onto the internet to browse, get to my
Okay.
email.
Only one difference,
What?
Sarah, is the encryption of that communication, meaning that if I was a man in the middle, and if I was to connect myself to that communication, I would not be able to read the text. It will be all encrypted.
So
When
it's
it says
plain text
unsecure,
versus
it's plain
encrypted
text.
text.
It's plain text. All plain text happening in that wire, and anybody with not even sophisticated tools can get in that communication, and now every text message, every email, every transaction, it's easy to get. So when it says unsecure, stay away from that. Stay as far as, like, really this is bad. Like, if I only have two things to say here, I would
Right.
say do not connect to Wi-Fi public networks and use two-factor authentication, right? Another one that I've been seeing for all of us students, because at one point I was a student,
Yeah.
is I already talked about passwords, but change your passwords. And the other one is internet at home. And it's a story behind it. You get your cable guy or your internet guy to come and install the internet, and he even puts the name of the Wi-Fi and the password, and he leaves. Do you know that that person has your password? And how many people will have your password? How many people come to your house and you go, oh, here's my password, here's my. So that device that left your house now can have access to your network or your home network. So I know my wife hates it because every year I spend a day, I change my password, everything starts screaming, no password. So it is also protecting us, literally protecting all of us if we get to these best practices for your lives. So I'm gonna stop here, Sarah, so I can have a dialogue and questions.
Yeah, that'd be great. So so stop sharing at this point and we can see everybody together. Because what I wanted from you, Mauricio, is basically to talk about one, I like the idea of the tips, even the idea of turning off your phone completely when
Yes.
you're done. Everybody's attached and it doesn't take much, right? To what, number one, I want you to discuss why I need Duo. And number two, what are the types of, why are universities so vulnerable? And what do you see as the common threads that the university is fighting now? So let's
Nice.
start with number one. Why do I
Number
need
one,
to?
dual. The
You're
university
requiring it. You used to not require it.
now it's required. So
And why
data,
is that?
why is that? So it is something. The bad actors are after all of our students and faculty. They know they want to get in because they know they can steal data and ransom, right? The only thing keeping those bad actors and our students from attending class, because we don't want to get in a situation where we're shut down and we can't,
Right.
operate. And so, students, we give you dual. Yes, it's an annoyance, but if you don't understand how secure, that's the only thing that is between a bad actor and all of your schoolwork, all of the professors and the faculty to be able to teach, because without that, we will be shut down. So, number one, use that two factor. And that's what on the university, every single, it became the de facto everywhere. I teach at FIU and we also have duo. So it is a de facto. It's not longer a nice to
Right.
have. So that's number one. Number two, why universities? You're saying, why are the universities so vulnerable?
Right.
One is, I told you about, there's money in ransomware, and the
Right.
bad actors know it, financial. There is the trade secrets. We have very grants that the university wins. The faculty goes out and gets a grant, um, and to do research. Bad actors are after that research, and they really want to steal the research. If you imagine this, the University of Miami, just at the campus that you all go to class, or you are in class, there are hundreds of very smart faculty members who are researching something that is going to change somebody's life. If you're talking about the healthcare, it's triple, but in the campus, if you recall, I don't know if you saw the news last year, Michigan State University or Michigan University, first day of class shut down. Couldn't take students a week to return to class. Imagine this: you're in campus, you can open your dorm doors, or you can pay for food, or you can pay for your classes so you can take classes, or you can get a ride. So this is the impact and a university and the chaos that it creates both for students and faculty. So that's why universities now are spending more attention and more time in securing the environment.
Okay. And what are the trends that you're seeing now
The
happening?
trends that we're seeing is this.
Yeah.
They're
What are the
after-
bad actors doing to you? What are you facing every day or?
We're facing the students. The students are after our students. And I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna take this time. It's not only October is Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and
Oh, wow.
we just launched it. But the second thing is, as students, you get texts all the time. You're getting better at this. I think these digital natives are more intelligent than we were when we were growing up. We click on everything. But what they are is they're creating anxiety and panic. Hey, this is your IT department. Even though it's not the UMIT, this is your IT department. You're gonna get a code, read it to me, or you're gonna get your dual code, read it to me. And by you, the student, falling for that, here is what the impact to the university. Last email that somebody gave out their dual credentials cost us a 20,000 phishing emails internally with a phishing link that infected computers. We saw it and we were able to stop it, but 20,000 people, we had to remove emails from 20,000 people, start calling people, disabling accounts. The amount of work that it creates, it takes anywhere from an hour to 12 hours to do the cleanup. So that's one. The second thing thereafter is your cell phones. You don't know this, but bad
No.
actors are trying to steal your information. And one of them is your banking information. They're trying to get to your bank account or your mom's bank account or your credit card. That where is money. So anywhere there is money, that's what they're trying to get to. And so by you being aware of these things and how they operating, you be more you'll be able now to say, well, this is a
So
this is a
how do I
phishing.
prevent them from getting into my phone?
Okay, this is tips that I can give you. AT&T, actually, if you do ChatGPT, I'm gonna do this.
Okay.
If you go to ChatGPT and say, what is your carrier? So let's pick I'm AT&T. Say,
Okay.
how do I check my phone to make sure that nobody is listening to my conversations? And you're gonna see a simple code. I think is pound star 621 star, and it will tell you if somebody is forwarding your calls or your emails or your text messages. But you can do this in ChatGPT. I'm not a genius at this, so you're gonna have to say, how do I know? By being aware that you can at any point do that. If you're not sure, if you're traveling, say, hey, I'm not sure, my phone is been acting up, it's been slow. Those are the keys that AT&T and Apple put out there for all of us to in a heart, in a moment's notice, what's
Right.
going on with your phone.
So
So
they'll tell me if somebody's listening to me?
yes, yes, yes.
Mhm.
If
So
your
they'll be
text
telling,
message
they
being
can
forwarded,
tell me that Pegasus is on my phone?
yes, they can. Yes.
Okay.
So
And then
ChatGPT,
once I know that Pegasus is listening to me, then what am I gonna do?
I am gonna tell you this. If I were you, I will
I'd be
wipe
throwing my
my
phone away.
phone. I would put it. Yeah, that's once they got you, they get you. But the other
Right.
way is like keep a backup, right? Keep a backup of your stuff in the cloud. Wipe your phone, put it back, and do it again. If it's still there,
Okay.
you have
It's
no
almost
other
that wipe
option
your
that
phone aspect.
wipe your phone. Yeah. The other one that is new is a new form of attack. It's called
Right.
SIM swapping. Bad actors are pretending to be you. They're
Yeah.
calling the carriers because right
Right.
now, I don't know if you know this, but before you would go buy a phone and they give you this chip that you put on your
The
phone.
SIM
Now is
card.
not longer
Right.
no longer a SIM card. Now is an electronic SIM card. So bad actors are calling and pretending
So
to
I
be
don't get the
us.
physical. You're saying I don't
No,
get the physical?
no, you don't. It's an electronic one that is coming
Right.
already enabled, and you call and enable it. Imagine if a bad actor bypasses you. So there's a video I saw on YouTube about a woman that is very sophisticated in doing social engineering, and she calls AT&T and she puts the recording of a child crying, and she calls and said, "Hey, I gotta pay my bill. I don't have the credentials. My husband is not here. My son is crying. I am
Right. She's
so
doing the
sorry."
perfect social engineering of
And this
pretending to be
person
some.
gives her the password. She adds a
Right.
phone, and then she said, she continues. The baby's crying. He said, "I need to transfer this phone to this one. Could you activate it?" They activated it. Look for it and YouTube. You'll be in disbelief. That's why it is important to keep an eye on where you go, your Wi-Fi, and your phone in general, your hygiene.
Mm-hmm. And do you basically, you guys do all of this work? I can see that I would go crazy, with all this software looking at the screen. Do you guys outsource your security, or you guys internally do this? How does this work at the university? And
Good.
which
So
part
we
do you
have
outsource and which part
good.
do you remain in-house?
So we have a security operations center 24/7, 365, and at undisclosed location, looking at 16 monitors for bad actors that are trying to do bad things.
And
In
that's another team. That's
that no,
UM, or you
that's
just have
my team.
your team? Actually, you hire people for 24/7.
Yeah.
Okay.
We also, if you happen to be traveling and we call you during the summer and saying, "Hey, are you traveling?" It's dual, because we're looking for impossible travel. If you computer says that you're in Miami, but your duo says that you are in Germany, that usually is a sign that bad actors already
Yeah.
compromise you. So the other part we outsource to a company that is globally known for security is the threat intelligence. So what they're monitoring is the dark web and monitoring our external systems against bad actors, against attacks. So that's outsourced. And then we have other companies that sit in that security operations center as contractors for big name companies in security,
Right.
helping my team, sometimes saying, is bad, is so incident response is what they do. So it's a big effort. So it's 24/7, We never sleep. And every time there's an incident, it is
And
an affair that
there's gonna be, I'm always amazed on, I basically work with a number of these people and with these companies, and I'm always amazed when I see these products. They're millions
yes,
of dollars of products, and everybody tells,
the
they
story.
shout, they say their story that they can protect you. And then I'm wondering, then why is everybody being hacked? Why do I see all these breaches being done if all this software is being done? And I never see any guarantees where these people are spending millions. I asked the company, well, if I get hacked, are you gonna cover the expenses? And it all looks like vaporware to me. They all can tell me stories. How do I know?
Sarah,
Until in the future I get hacked.
I'm gonna tell you one. Recently, CrowdStrike.
Right. I was
CrowdStrike
gonna bring
stop.
that up. Right.
Stop. The University of Miami, we depend on CrowdStrike for our protection. And there is a
Millions of all the
policy.
airlines too, right? The airlines went down because
By the
of
way,
it, right?
Sarah, we didn't skip a bit because we were up since 11 a.m. is when PM is when I got the phone call that some computers are the entire university was getting the blue screen.
Right.
And usually for all of you, when you get a blue screen, that's either two things: Microsoft blue screen of death, meaning something corrupted, or ransomware. So the first thing we thought we were getting ransomed.
Right.
And
Whoever
it's
thought
11
CrowdStrike
p.m.
was the problem.
And then we all got together. It was
Right.
24 people in the command
Yeah.
center room. And then we saw in Australia and London that it was a CrowdStrike bad package that was deployed. And we started fixing it manually. We didn't miss the class. We didn't miss patient, but it took a lot of people working on this. So CrowdStrike is one perfect example because they guarantee and their policy $1 million if you get hacked. You have the software, they pay $1 million to the company, right? So all of these tools, they say they're the best thing until something happens.
Right. Until after, right. But it's hard to tell between it. Any
It's hard.
other comments? Anyone from
Comments?
anyone?
Anyone? Can't believe the
Yeah, I have a
digital
Okay,
question.
neighbor.
everybody wants
Please do.
Andres.
So, how are you adjusting to the fact that a single person can now use thousands of AI agents to attack you simultaneously?
Good. Beautiful. So that is called a distributed attack. Okay. And so sometimes, if like Sarah said, universities and health systems are being hardly hit with this type of attack. This is called distributed network attacks, zombies, as we call it. So there are tools in place. There are companies that serve as your shield. One of those companies, we want to search it up, is called Akamai. And Akamai became a big name for sustaining this type of attacks coming from different parts of the world in thousands, in millions of attacks in per second. So if you were a university that doesn't have money to invest in security, the chance to sustain an attack like that, very little. As we grow and mature the program, we have layer security, and that's where I was getting. How you asked me directly, how do I do it? It's called layer security approach. We have a layer that protects us against that attack. We have a firewall that if that didn't work, we can work on and shut down. And then the workstations have these protections that you just heard to protect us against that. But think about this. If you're not prepared, you have money to invest in security. That's what universities get all the time, hacked and compromised. So that was a good question. Very good.
Thank
It's
you.
called distributed attacks.
Ricardo?
About passwords,
Yes, Ricardo.
what would you recommend for like a safe way to store your passwords? Nowadays, there's a lot of apps. I think Apple with their new iOS released the passwords app. Is that safe? What would you recommend in that?
I am gonna recommend the one I use, but I'm not putting a plug for anyone. There's many of those that are out there, and it's called Keeper. Keeper, like I keep this. It is used by companies all around the world, like Microsoft, like Google. The developers use this called Keeper.
Okay.
So go look it up in the Apple Store, in the App Store, the Apple, Android. is there. I'm gonna put it here. Keeper password vault. It's safe, it's secured, and it's got cool features that you can, when you want to share a password with somebody, you just say share with this person, and you share it, and you say for a period of time. You can say an hour, a day, just always. It's very cool. I use it, so I like it. There's another one called One Pass. It's I think it's cheaper, but it doesn't have all the features that this keeper has. And the last one I would recommend is called Last Pass, like password. And the reason that's my third one, and I don't want to recommend that one because it already got breached. So
That's what I was
one,
gonna just say, that's what's scary with all these things, they get breached too, you know, so.
Last Pass, one pass with the
Right.
number one pass,
Yeah.
and keeper is the other one.
Yeah,
Okay, thank
okay,
you.
thank you. Really, we appreciate it so much. We've been honored, Mauricio, that you took your time out of your busy schedule. I'm
Okay,
just
love it.
paranoid that 24/7 you're dealing with it, that I hope that you have meditation or something
I'm
to
a
ease all this straight.
I'm a
Or-
runner. I run marathons. So at
Oh,
4 in the
that's
morning,
good.
if you see me running around campus, and
Okay,
saying hi to somebody, that means
right.
thank you for the invitation, Sarah.
Yes,
And
I
if any of
really,
your
we
students,
appreciate it. We'll
thank you.
try to think about something to do. And what I think is really that AI is really the future on your end too.
Yes, it
I was
is. It
always
is.
amazed to say, why do I need all these people to look 24/7 on screens? You know, there should be more of that AI and behavior.
Let's talk, because that's
Let's
my
talk about
that's
what we
my
can
stuff.
do maybe, because that's really one of our areas that we want to look at is AI on for the good guys, you know what I mean? And trying to do it. A lot of the products are saying they have AI, but what is in being, we can evaluate. Thank you again,
Thank you.
Mauricio. Thank you. I
Thank
really
you all.
appreciate it so much.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
your time.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye. Okay, so we were honored to have him. I still get irritated at those guys. He knows it. That I don't know that they still, the faculty were in uproar for all these restrictions. They had to basically allow us to do our work, you know, the idea that they're talking about all this important research. Well, all this important research, they were not allowing all our researchers to do it because they were putting on so many boundaries that they said the only place you could work was in your office at the university. Well, you got people in Rasmus, they're working on the waters. You got other people working around the world. What are you telling me, that I can't do my work? So there's always a balance there. Okay, guys, I'll see you on Monday. I'm going to share my screen to do attendance. Stay with me afterwards. You understand, I'll have Daniel make adjustments there. It's not verbatim. Right, let's make sure we're in J. Let's go to attendance. Let's see what code we get this time on check-in. Start check-in. You got your code. And have a good week. 5957. And I'll see you on Monday. Ask me any of the questions. Otherwise, I'll do an extensive review with you for Monday.
Thank you, Dr. Rush.
My pleasure, as usual. And thank you, Ricardo, for the excellent questions, and Andres. It's kind of like, we'll see how we go.
Of course. Thank you, Dr. Rush.
My pleasure.
I had a question on assignment
Yeah.
3.
Okay, what was the question?
So when I was in Ninja Trader,
Uh-huh.
oh shoot, it canceled out now, but
5957. Does everybody have the codes so I can stop sharing?
I just have one question about my attendance.
Yeah.
I was here last class and I didn't get the attendance on my end, even though I put the code in. I don't know if you could change it.
Yeah, let me just do real quick. Records. What's your last name?
Campino, Campino.
For this one, September 30th?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay,
Thank you.
my pleasure.
Yeah, can you mark me present too? I didn't get the code. My computer
Yeah.
is slow.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, you too. Ciao. Okay. And Parker, what's you, Sophia, what's up?
Yeah. So when I was doing assignment 3, um,
Let me just see. Parker, what issue do you have?
I just still haven't done the last 2 assignments because I can't get NinjaTrader on my computer, and I was
Yeah, but
supposed to.
did you go to the lab?
No, I wasn't there that day, but then I had emailed the TA.
Yeah. What did he say?
Emailed one of them, and he never responded to me about today when he was like meeting with students. I asked him what
Okay,
time he
so
was doing that.
and so did you respond to? He's going to be online. So can you stay with me? He's going to come
Yeah.
online. So let's do this. Stay with me, Parker. And Daniel said that he's going to be online with me. Okay, so
Okay.
let me stop sharing. So that'll be good. You know what I mean? So that way maybe you can even do it tonight. I don't want to leave you in the dark about that.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so Sophia, what's your question?
okay, so every time I like was going through the steps, every time I got to step 3 where it says I have to check the enabled box underneath underneath setup, it never lets me click it. It's like
Hey,
gray.
hold on. Do you have it right now?
Yeah,
So
well
share your screen.
okay, sorry, my
If you ha-
computer like timed
Are
out,
you
but
there?
yeah.
Go to it. Tell me when
Okay.
you're ready and then share your screen.
Okay, sorry, wait, I don't okay.
Okay, skip that. Okay.
Yeah, well it just like canceled out, but okay, so I go to
Okay.
new
No,
and
you
then
have to go to connections.
start, and then I
No,
go
no. It's a problem. Where's your data feed? You have to connect to data. That's the reason.
what how
Oh, close that. Close it. You see connections?
yeah.
What type of data are we doing? We're doing end of day free, right?
So that's
Oh, so if you don't see a little green ball in the corner, right, you can move that up a little bit, right? That screen, move it up. You see that little green?
yeah.
Then there's no data to be had.
So now when I go to that, it'll work.
Yes. That's it. One little thing.
Okay, so that was what was making enabled not
Yeah,
work.
right.
Okay. Thank you.
Automatic. And it's dumb. It should be the next line of an intelligent software, Sophia, when it comes up that way, it should be able to tell you, do you need data?
Yeah.
Enable your data feed. Something
Okay.
simple like that. But think about it. It makes sense. It can't enable because there's no data to enable.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Is it
And-
okay if I turn it in a little late since I was
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Go ahead. We'll give, you know what I mean? There's so many issues that people, and it's not your fault. You know what I mean? There's so many issues that are going on, but now that you know it, when you're going to give that open-ended question,
Mm-hmm.
right, that it should be maybe that you could even set that up, that every time I open up NinjaTrader, an improvement, hook me up to my data right away.
Okay.
But what they're doing is, since it's an automated trading system, they want to keep on making sure that you don't enable your trading when you really don't want to.
Yeah. Okay.
You understand? So that's
Yeah.
it. Perfect.
Thank you.
Perfect. Keep it up. Okay. So Damien, while we're waiting for Daniel here, what is your major, Damien?
Business management,
Okay. And what year are you?
sophomore.
Sophomore. And what do you want to do? What is your kind of goal, you think?
Well,
go?
after I get my degree, I'm interested in going into industrial organizational psychology.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you want to do this and then you want to get another degree or what?
Yeah, I get my master's in it.
A master's in industrial psychology?
Yeah.
And do you want to get a PhD in that too, or no?
We'll see.
See, but what do you like about that? Why do you industrial psychology? I haven't heard that in a while. It used to be more popular than before. So what made you?
Yeah, well, in high school I took a psychology course and we had a brief unit on industrial organizational psychology, and I really liked it. And
Uh-huh.
so there's just some jobs in there that I think I could really do well with.
Like what?
Uh, there's a lot of like management training was a lot of it that I saw. And so I've all the jobs I've worked, I've quickly rose to like either supervisor or manager.
Uh-huh.
So I think I can do that in a corporate setting.
Yeah. I think,
So
what would be good is to have, how with AI, basically when you have AI be members of each of the groups, and then even use the AI some ways with industrial psychology too. Think
yes.
about it. That would be, what I mean, that's where you could shine, because a lot of like the common issues are people problems.
Mhm.
Think about what industrial psychology is really people taking control, people having issues with who's in control, what type of personalities you have, right? Who does
Yeah.
well. It's almost like a mentoring where in an organization, what types of jobs do I like? What do I want to do? I want to be a leader. I like to work alone. I like to work in groups. I like to lead. A lot of the testing that's being done can give advice, and even if you're a certain type, maybe you can learn to be more assertive, or you can learn more speaking skills, or some of your weaknesses. I
Yeah.
think you can do a lot of training with, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I've always liked the more like human
Uh-huh,
interaction side of working in business and stuff.
right.
So that's what attracted me with the whole AI thing too. Also wanted to do something that I felt wasn't too threatened by AI, but I've started using it a little more this semester. I've
And what
been
happens?
huh?
What's your reaction to it?
Oh, it's crazy. It's
And what does the
phenomenal.
craziest mean?
Just like what it's capable to do, what it's
Yeah,
capable of, and like it can create like so much or do a lot of stuff really quickly. It is so much more convenient. I don't know why I haven't been using it.
yeah, right.
Uh,
But once you start reading, and it saves you, and what I see it's even like when you're starting, it takes you sometimes, sometime it's like gives you the first draft.
mhm. Yeah,
It gives you like the first wave to think about.
yeah, exactly. I also like it for exactly brainstorming because a lot of stuff how I work is especially with the more English stuff
Uh-huh.
is get like a bunch of stuff out first and then cut down the fat so it's all
Yeah,
good.
no, and it's going to get better. But what
Hmm.
I see in the future is that this is going to be instilled in organizations.
Yeah.
And who's going to be in those organizations are those that can work with it.
Yeah,
And those
exactly.
people that don't know how to work with it will not have jobs. Because, they always say that AI is going to eliminate jobs, and other people say, oh, no, it is going to eliminate jobs. Because a lot of that drudgery is, but if you can work together, you can be more efficient, and
Hmm.
it can become a better product. Yeah. So we were so reach out to us. Then later we can do it. So I just want to do it. You did an excellent job in terms of helping us in our project. Okay,
Yeah,
great. All right. Thanks.
no problem. You have a great
Yeah.
day.
You too. So, Parker, so I don't know where, let me ask Daniel where he is. Hold on.
Okay. When I was like emailing back and forth with him,
Yeah,
like my
what?
like VDI it's not working on my like MacBook. Like I
It
tried to
happens with a lot
download
of
it.
them. So I think one way is to just go to the lab,
Yeah, well, I have a non-Mac, like I have this
You
computer,
have,
which
okay.
which I should be able to
I'll
download
show you
Ninja,
how to
but
do it. Okay, so
every
let's do
single
this.
time I try to do it, it doesn't work.
Okay, go to ninjatrader.com.
Okay. It's just this, right? Like,
Yeah, let me just, I'll show you, okay? I'm
okay.
gonna share my
Yeah.
screen. That's a better idea. And
Okay.
you look at what I'm doing, okay? So I'm gonna open up, you see my screen?
Yes.
So I'm gonna go to ninjatrader.com. What you need to do is you need to get started. And you need to create an account.
Okay.
So you need to sign up.
And can I just do like continue
Hold on.
with
What?
okay.
So let me just sign in. Or email. Okay.
Can I use my school email?
You can use whatever email you want. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
What's the easiest? Hold on.
Okay, I did the account, but then do I do open account and then live trading account?
No, no live trading account.
Oh, okay. Not ready for live trading.
Not ready for live trading. You don't want to live.
But and then I have to start
What?
the 14-day free trial.
Yeah, start 14 days.
Okay.
What does that just give you another option?
No, it doesn't. It just, well, I mean, I guess I could go back, but I don't know what that, let me see what that
Okay,
does.
so just do 14 days. You don't want to do live trading. You don't need it more than 14 days in. But you shouldn't even have to bother with that. I just want you to get in, and so I'll show you what you need to download.
Okay, I'm in my account now.
You are.
I don't have to download anything, do I?
Well, you will. You're in your account. Why don't you do
Yeah.
this? Get on your other in the HP. Can you get on to the internet on that HP that you are? Open up the
Like get onto the Zoom?
yeah, get on to our Zoom call.
Yeah, let me see if I can.
This way we can
Um,
finish you up. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So what is your major, Parker?
Entrepreneurship, and then I have a minor in real estate.
So do you have a license yet?
Not
Real estate?
yet. I'm in the process. I still don't know where I want to get it, if I want to get it back at home or in Florida.
Mhm.
Um,
And where is
so
home?
that would Massachusetts.
And what year are you?
Okay. I'm a sophomore. This is my second year.
So sometimes it may even be good in Florida while you're in there, you know?
Mm-hmm. Okay, let
Okay,
me
good.
down this.
So once you get in, hopefully we can connect you. Once you're in, then you can share your screen. So we got two of you. Can you imagine how great that is?
Let me leave this one.
You can be, you can be,
There we go. I just left on my other
you can
ones.
be, your digital twin is on the other one. Okay. So let me stop sharing.
Okay.
We're recording, so it's good. It's good for everyone else. Okay, so share your screen.
Okay. Share. And then, okay.
But I'm not seeing anything yet. Okay, good. Okay. Now go to the Ninja Trader. Now this is what I wanted you to do. You don't want to start trading. See where it says download to the left?
This one, yeah.
Yeah, click on it and see what happens. Now what we want to do, we don't want to go there. We don't want most recent. I want you to go all the way to your right and go all the way down. Let me just see here. Go back up. Go back up a little bit. Up, up, up. Up. Here, what is it? Oh, here, right there. Stop there. You see where it says prior releases and it says 8.0 below that, 8.
Yeah.
That's what you want to download.
Okay. Let me.
Perfect.
Okay, so there it is downloading.
Right.
See, because I've tried to do
Right,
it, but
but
maybe.
yeah, but it's a different one. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
it was the other version.
okay,
So.
right. So that's what I'm saying. So we need to get, the problem is they don't tell you, but what we're using in class is that you can get the data, the end of day data and all. Okay.
Yeah, because it kept like crashing my computer
Yeah,
last.
right. Okay, so we'll try. You know what I mean? We're not sure if it'll work, but I guess
Yeah.
it's it. Open file, right? Was that the last one?
Yeah. Do you see what's coming up now?
What?
Do you see what's coming up now?
Okay. What's coming up?
It says a newer version of the product was detected. If you want to downgrade, please uninstall the newer version first.
Okay, so we have to uninstall the newer version.
Which
So
I
do you know how to uninstall? So now we need to go to, you can minimize that for a minute, minimize your, minimize your,
Yeah.
So now what, minimize right now this entire screen, this Chrome browser, minimize it, yeah. Just with the minus sign, you see the minus?
this, yeah.
Yeah, that's minimize.
Okay, wait, let me do it to my Excel sheets. Have those up.
And what you want to do is you want to find your NinjaTrader because you tried to install it and we want to uninstall it. So you want to go in the search button on the Windows to look for uninstall
Okay, let me.
the program. Once we uninstall the program, then now you know that we want to use this, jot it down, we want to use this version 8.0280.
Okay, so
Okay.
that would be here.
Yeah. So now you want to uninstall the program. So you have to go to Control Panel and find uninstall. I'll show you.
Here, wait, I don't know if you can. Okay, wait, let me do.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to uninstall the one that's on my desktop. Can you
How
not
are
see?
how are you uninstalling it? You have to
I
go
don't.
to-
It's on my desktop. I don't really know how to.
Yeah, well, that's why I want to show you. So minimize your browser so I can show you.
Can you see my screen, or is it? I think it's paused.
I see your desktop NinjaTrader. I don't see your desktop.
Oh, okay, wait. Here.
Don't minimize your.
Oh. Oh, okay, wait. Okay.
Okay, well, Daniel,
Hello.
hi, Daniel. Let me just tell you, this is Parker. This
Hi.
is Daniel.
Hi, Parker.
Okay, what she needs to do, and this is not going to work. What happened is exactly the same thing. You see, Daniel,
Yeah.
Parker has NinjaTrader, the newer version, and she has to uninstall
Oh,
it. So if you go even to the search, you see where the search is on the bottom right there, that it
there, I
says
got it.
search.
I got it.
Oh, I just approved whatever you.
I'm gonna do it for her.
But basically, she needs to uninstall her NinjaTrader that she has now, and then what she has is she has the she downloaded to her machine the 8.028. So she has to go to her programs and she needs to uninstall. Just her.
It's a little laggy, but I'm trying.
Yeah.
Yeah, could you open this? I don't know why it's not working for me.
This
Yeah.
one?
Yeah.
Or she can just, okay, right. And now,
Yeah.
now you need to go
Uninstall a program.
program.
You see that?
You see that uninstall programs?
Wait, one sec. The Zoom thing.
Yeah,
I'll get rid of
Where
it.
is it?
the first
It's the
column.
bottom left. There
But
it is.
uninstall a
Oh,
program.
yeah. Okay.
And now you see NinjaTrader right there, right? Now you want to uninstall. Then yes. And once you install it, Parker, then uninstall it, then you'll install the older one.
Okay.
Then you'll have
Yeah,
it
there's
on.
a link to it.
Oh,
Or you could do it from the download.
Yeah, she downloaded it already to her machine.
Okay.
Daniel. So she
Okay.
has it. But she just needs to install it. And then once you have it, Parker, do you have questions about it that you need to work with Daniel?
I don't know. I mean, I think maybe I can try to figure it out now that I have it installed. It was just the problem of getting it installed.
Installed, okay.
Yeah.
Or maybe you can work with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have an office hours at 4 p.m. tomorrow if you'd like to join.
Okay, is that just on Zoom, like online?
Yeah, I would have to email. I guess I could email it to all sections. I don't mind doing that.
Okay. Yeah, if you could do that, that'd be great, because I'll just join tomorrow if
Yeah,
I
why,
can't
why
figure it
don't you
out.
put it in the, do you have it
Yeah.
right now or?
I'll send everyone an email for all
Yeah, but-
sections.
Right, but send it maybe particularly or put it in the chat now for, well, let's
I
now.
don't have the link. I have to
install-
make it. 'cause,
Okay, but let's now just install your program. The Ninja Trader. Did you install it now?
Okay, am I still sharing
No,
it?
no,
you're sharing. I stopped the remote control. So it's all
Okay,
you.
let me
Okay,
try
so
to do
close
it.
that and then go back to, yeah. Where did you download? You downloaded it already. You don't have to.
Yeah, I think I
twice.
did.
Yeah, so go into your downloads.
Computer
Direct.
stuff. Oh, there it is.
Right. Preparing installer. It's working. No?
This okay.
Yeah.
Oh, the setup.
Yeah, next. Yeah. You're there. And
Oh,
then
okay.
just say I accept.
Because she wanted Jacksonburg.
Right, and then next. Install.
Oh, okay.
So you'll have it there, you'll have it installed, you'll have the right version, and then you can work through it, and then you can work with Daniel. If you have questions, he'll have, and he'll Daniel, we're gonna postpone a bit. We have a couple of people having issues like this. We'll postpone that first assignment because people are having
The Monday or
legitimate issues. So we probably can make both assignments due on Monday.
okay.
And then
I will
finish.
change that.
Okay.
I mean, because that's other couple people, you know, legitimate reasons, you know what I mean? That are like,
Yeah.
I think it's downloaded now.
yeah, okay, so check on your desktop. Yeah, it looks like, check, minimize that and check on your desktop. Sometimes if you click on it too many times,
Yeah, I might.
you know, sometimes what I like to do is just right click it and just say open, but just see, sometimes it takes a while, so it'll come back up. So Daniel, so you're just gonna check the
computers, yeah.
the computers, okay.
Okay, I think once I get it down. Oh wait, I think it's right here.
No, you have some problem, unable to log aboard, I think. OneDrive, it started with the OneDrive University. Why'd it go to OneDrive?
Try clicking ignore.
Do you want to allow public and private network? What is this? Cancel.
Cancel. Okay, wait, this is it though, no?
No, yeah, this is
Yeah.
it. Skip that. Yeah, maybe. Let's see if it works, because I just.
Click ignore on that pop-up.
Oh wait, okay, this is it, right? Yeah, let me
Yeah,
try.
that's
Okay,
it.
now see if your connections work. Yeah.
Oh, I just accepted it. Oh.
Somehow, okay. So close that getting started, close that market analyzer too.
Gosh.
Everything's coming back out. Yeah. Ninja Trader detected windows outside the viewable reposition. Okay, just close it. This aboard. There's an error. Oh, you know what it is? There's more than one instance of
Yeah.
Ninja Trader.
Probably because I opened it so many
Yeah,
times.
you open it so many times, but you got the idea. You have to do connections. Just go and see if connections work. You see where connections are up above. You you can close out that, getting started. I think that's the reason. Go to kinetic, the first one. Let's see if it'll, yeah. You hear that? See that?
Yeah.
Okay, you see it right. And just do new chart. We can see if it works. Go to new
Um,
on the top, new chart. In the middle there, see chart, yeah. And then pull down for the instrument. And then just pick under the Dow 30, just do Dow 30. And just pick something, doesn't matter what, for right now. Just to see if it works. And now change minute to day. Okay. In 365 it looks, and now say okay.
okay.
Okay. Then you get the strategies and all. Okay.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you so
Perfect.
much.
You're welcome. And then you can, if you have issues, Daniel will send you
Yeah. I'll probably meet tomorrow.
a note there.
Okay.
Mark. Okay, great. Perfect.
Should I ask
But-
Aaron to come in as well and help people?
Yeah, sure.
Because
you can
if
ask
enough
anybody.
people show up, it might be
Are you
better.
doing a lab?
No, on Zoom.
On Zoom, yeah. You can
Yeah.
ask him if he has time. Who else we can do?
I could ask because Clark is coming, and then I could ask maybe Anders or Amelie.
Yeah, you can see an Amelie too. You may want to reach out. We have Damien in the second class. I was waiting for you to meet him.
Yeah, I added him to the group. I haven't heard from him at all.
Damien?
Yeah, that was the guy we met with on Zoom that one time, right?
I don't think so.
Well, let me see what his name is.
Oh, there's a couple things that need to be changed too.
Sure, sure.
The wingman. Let me just tell you what his name is. You can reach out because he really knows.
Kareem.
What? No, but Kareem doesn't even come anymore, so he was useless.
Should I remove him from the group?
What?
Should I remove him from the TA group or?
I would, yeah. Here
Okay.
he is. Let me share my screen. Every day he comes up. He did one day. Okay, do you see my screen?
Yes.
You see this guy here?
Damien. Okay, yeah.
Email him and tell him that Dr. Rush recommended if he wanted to be part of the teaching assistants and training, since he does such a good job in with Ninja Trader, that he does such a good job. You know how
Sure.
to phrase it. That we'd like to invite him. You've been recommended by Dr. Rush to join our group. And he's in the
Sure.
second class, and that's why I'd like the second class, because then he can help others. He wasn't the only one in the second class that had done all the homework,
Okay.
So reach out to him. The other thing.
Crazy that's rare.
What?
Crazy that it's rare that people
Yeah,
do the homework.
right. No, but I mean, he did like the Monday's homework. You know what I mean? He did all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's not even that. He was ahead of Andres and Amelie on that. The thing I
wow.
wanted to show you here was on the a couple of things that needed to be changed.
Sure.
And you can do it on this is J, but a couple of things needed to be first of all, I changed this to 24. Somehow we kept it at 22. So that needed. So if I edit, I don't want to edit this. This is fine. This and do it for both. First of all, this says 22.
Oh, the number. I see.
Okay.
That's why.
Okay, so I
Yeah, I
think,
changed the Wednesday. I didn't even check the number.
yeah, right. And then I checked the outer. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, maybe what I would do is these are this should be 10th edition, right? We're using the 10th and
Yeah.
PT automate, that should be 10th edition.
And
And then on this part, on the actual open-ended questions,
okay.
it's not going to be verbatim, but rather we'll pick two. And what we're going to be adding, I'm going to be adding to all the questions is they have to show examples
Okay.
based on their lab assignments.
Has to show.
Okay,
So,
rather than the exam verbatim. So for instance, on for instance, what is algorithm, what are automated trainings, and show examples, you know what I mean, from class. Virtual infrastructure, what are the benefits? Show examples of those benefits and disadvantages from.
sure. I can just say two of these are on the exam and you will be asked to show examples.
Yes,
Perfect.
perfect. But that verbatim thing, you know what I mean? And then they
Yeah.
get on the case, this wasn't verbatim. You
Yeah,
never want
I
to
see
say
where-
verbatim, you understand? 'Cause-
Yeah.
And there are a little bit of changes, you know? Okay,
I got you.
okay, so just change that and then put it back to doing
Yeah,
a
I'll
whole
make those
sentence.
changes.
Yeah, make it, that's why it's important to see it. And then the other thing, oh, and the second, he came, yeah, let me just make sure that I'm off here. So that's it. So let me stop sharing.